What's going on, everyone? So in today's video I want to talk about split sleeper berth or split clock and how to run it in your hours of service on your tablet. I get a lot of questions about this all the time. How do you do it? I don't understand. And it can be confusing at first. Once you get the hang of it, it's all good. You'll understand it. I'll try to make it simple to understand, but here it goes. So two main things to understand about running a split sleeper. You can either run it in a 2 and 8 or a 3 and 7. So you have to take a 2-hour break and then you can work and then go back and take 8 hours off, or you can work 3, work, and then go back and take 7 off. You can't do 1 and 9, you can't do 4 and 6 or whatever. It can only be 2 and 8 or 3 and 7. What is it good for? It's good for, like, if you go to a shipper or something and you're just sitting there for 4 hours, you can essentially pause your clock. Because what happens is when you're in sleeper, your on duty time steady ticks off, right? So say you pull up at the shipper at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, okay, and you immediately go to sleeper at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, okay, your on duty time is going to tick down. But at 2 hours, it's going to reset back to 1 o'clock, how much time you had at 1 o'clock. So if you had 5 hours at 1 o'clock, it's going to click down to, 3 o'clock, which is 2 hours. So you're going to be down to what, 3 hours of on duty time. But after those 2 hours, it resets back to what you had at 1. So you'll go back with 5 hours. So it saves you some time. And it allows you to, say you're at a shipper and you do a 2-hour sleeper, then you can drive 30 minutes to a truck stop, and then all you have to do is an 8-hour break, and then you get your time back. The other thing to understand about this is that you can only do this, so your first break can either be in sleeper or off duty status. The second break has to be in sleeper berth only status. Okay, so the first break can be in sleeper or off duty. The second break has to be in sleeper berth duty, or it will not count. All right, so here's the caveat to running a split though. So say I take a 2-hour break, okay, and then I immediately start driving, and I drive for 2 hours, okay, and then I take my 8-hour break. Whatever time I go on duty or drive after my first initial break counts towards the time that I get back the next day, okay? So if I drive 2 hours after my 2-hour break, the next day after taking my 8-hour break, I get 11 hours, but it subtract the 2 that I drove. So I only get 9 hours. Okay, so you have to keep that in mind. Whatever time you spent on duty or driving after your first initial split gets taken away from your time the following day. Okay, so it doesn't make sense to take a 2-hour break and then drive 7 hours and then take 8 hours off, because you'll have no time the next day. You might as well just finish your 10 out and completely finish it. It's come in handy for me, like I said, in situations where, like, shipper's taking forever, I'm in the sleeper, my time stops, and then I only have to drive 30 minutes to a truck stop. I can take an 8-hour break, and then I'm back on the road almost with a full clock, 10 and a half hours or whatever. So that's really the gist of it. One thing I will say on the Samsara tablets, some companies don't allow you to even run a split, but if they do, I know on the Samsara you have to go in and actually manually go into settings and actually enable the split sleeper berth clock for it to be able to toggle, and then you can toggle it on and off that way. But that's the two main important things to remember. Is number one, your first break can be sleeper or off duty. The second break has to be sleeper status. Number two, it can only be run in a 2 and an 8 or a 3 and a 7. And number three, whatever time that you spend on duty or driving after your 2 or 3 hour first break gets deducted from your drive time or on duty time the following day. But that's it. If anybody's got any other questions or anything, I know it's confusing sometimes, but and I tried to explain it the best I can. But if you have any questions or need more detail, drop a comment below. I'll respond to all the comments. And if you enjoy these videos, like and subscribe. And I even drop my email down below if anybody has any questions about Jordan or has any questions about your hours of service or anything like that. You can contact me there or just shoot me a comment. Anyways, everyone have a blessed day. Appreciate you watching.